For those of you that are just joining us, I'm talking with Beth Lang, and she's the Targeted Ministries Coordinator at Colorado Community Church in Aurora. Beth, could you tell me about just maybe some of the misconceptions that faith leaders have about starting a mental health ministry?
Yeah, I think the number one thing I hear from other faith leaders who contact me who are interested is that they think that if they open their doors, right, and really promote to the community, even to their own church body, that they want to welcome those with mental health issues, that they are going to be completely overrun with people who have very severe, untreated, undiagnosed mental illness, and that those people are going to escalate in an unsafe way at their church property. And that leads them to their second concern, which is they're going to get sued. Basically, really, I mean, I've heard that. Like, what if someone escalates? What if our leaders aren't equipped to handle that? What if we have to restrain someone, one of our security volunteers, and then, we get sued? That's, I think, a concern. And then I think the last thing is really that, I'm sorry, I just lost my train of thought. That people are concerned that they can't recruit and find volunteers to do this, that they think it's something that either leadership is uncomfortable letting go of, right, into the hands of lay leaders, or that they won't be able to recruit and really equip those volunteers adequately to handle the situations that might come up. So that's what I've heard. And in terms of there's some truth, the real truth behind that we've experienced, I can share. In terms of the first item about being overrun, we're a church of about 3,000 attendees over the weekend services. Right now, for example, our CAVE group, which is the support group, we're meeting weekly, really because of COVID online. That is about 10 to 12 people a week come to that. Our Overcome classes, we cap at 15. We offer that twice a year. And so we haven't, in the beginning, we had more, but I would not say that we are overrun by any means. And we're a very large church.
Wow.
So
some teen groups too, don't you?
We do. We have a teen cave group, and we have about 8 teens who attend that regularly. So again, it's not something where we feel overrun. I think the other point there is that what we offer and what My Quiet Cave offers tends to attract people who are pretty self-aware of their mental health issues. So whether it's mental health or mental illness, we find the majority of those who have a diagnosis tend to be on medication or already seeing a counselor. They are looking for a group of peers who are also struggling that they can be transparent with in the context of what does God say about their mental illness. That's what they're looking for. They're not looking for necessarily clinical therapy, right? That's not what they're looking for from the church. They're looking for a listening ear, for just, the value of a support group is any issue, right? A share group is other people know what I've experienced. Even if it's a different mental health issue, they understand the walk of feeling isolated or feeling unsupported or feeling frustrated that I'm not getting better. And so that's what they're looking for, right? So we have not been overrun. We have never been sued. And we've had, in terms of escalations, I can tell you, I think we've had issues during weekend services where we've had to call 911 on people, but not during any of our mental health programs, which is interesting. And that's people who might have other intersecting issues like addiction and things like that. So, and then the last thing is, I think you would be surprised in any size church body you have of the number of people who God is calling to step into lay leadership in this ministry. There are people who are passionate about this. They might be caregivers or family members. They might be people who have struggled and are in a healthy place. They might even be people who work in the field. But you'd be surprised who God will bring. If you just really give it to God and say, we feel called to do this, Lord, bring who you need to bring.
I think of the Kevin Costner movie. What was that? If you build it,
they will come. and I have to say,
dating myself.
Yeah, no. This is a case of that, I think, to a certain extent. I think if you provide the infrastructure, and a lot of times you get volunteers are people who have gone through the program, have experienced a lot of healing, and they want to then step in and help facilitate. So it kind of, it can be exponential.
Right. I know some of the greatest overcome leaders that we've had have come from overcome. Like they started as
Right.
participants and then they're leading groups, which, like you said, that peer element, having peer support is so powerful. And that's
It is.
usually what people are looking for. If they want to see a therapist or a mental health professional, they can do that outside of the church, but they're coming
Right.
into the church to feel like they belong and that there's a place for them. And
Right.
that's what you found to be true. That's what I know to be true.
Hmm.
And to just
And
say
that's,
something about, oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I'm sorry. And that's really no different from anyone else. I mean, think
Right.
about people who were, for example, people who were specifically going through grief.
Mhm.
Grief share is huge for them. We started a group for vets. They only want to be around vets. You know, only vets can understand the trauma and the PTSD that they have struggled with. And I mean, any group. I mean, older Bible studies for, you know, senior citizens, Bible studies for teens. Like everyone wants to find a tribe to be with, whether it's their age demographic or something they're struggling with. So really, people with mental health issues, it's no different.
No, you're right. I love that.
Yeah.
Somewhere
Yeah.
right. And if there's a faith leader or pastor that is concerned about, would you say, escalation or just leaders not having the training, there's a lot of information, even on our website. You can go to myquietcave.org. We have
Right.
information on training. So if you want that mental health training or the mental health first aid, then you can do that too. But what we're
Yeah.
talking about is really just that peer-led support and just making space where it's okay for people to struggle. Give
Right.
permission and
Exactly.
give them that time that you've set aside to say, hey, this is your time and your place to meet with your
Right.
God. So thank
Right.
you.
Exactly.